I had to take a moment, tribe, and arrive. I hope you hear. It's been forever. It's been forever and ever and ever that I haven't come on YouTube to come and do a live teaching. So yeah, so I'm arriving. I'm arriving. I'm landing. I'm centering. Thokozani, this is your favorite Coco Dina Wanhlanzi. And ngicela ukuthi nibingelele, just send me a greeting. Let me know where you are from, where you are tuning live from. So yeah, let's get to it so I can know that people are here, people are with me. So yeah. I need to tell my mother something. Mama California, like Sarko Life, make go YouTube, or Sky Share. Yes, Refula is here. Who else is here? Shasha from Johannesburg. Abundance, one of my top tribe member followers on Instagram. Abundance always shows up on Instagram. You are there. We have Spelele, Amaku from Cape Town, Sabelo Dube is from Nairobi. Wow. Sabelo, what are you doing? Are you from Nairobi? Because Sabelo is this is Zulu, but there could be, Kiswahili has Zulu dialect in it. Kuto from Gaborone, Botswana. Deki is from Durban. Maria is from Witbank, Bitsoaka. Maria is my first name, by the way. Chantal from Pretoria. Wendy from Stellenbosch. Oh, tribe, you are here. You are here. We are live. It's been a minute, tribe, because I've been busy. I've been on set and I'm gonna post about it tomorrow. I've been shooting something interesting. Indeed, Lousy timing is perfect timing. And I hope you love it because it's taken me so long to get to do this work. So you'll get to see it tomorrow. Please share it with your loved ones. Watch it. It's very exciting. I'm really, really excited because it's been something that you've always also been asking, God, go do this, go. And I'm like, guys, when Abokoko and Abamko say it's time, and I want to do something that also speaks true to who I am and not just do something because I gotta occupy airtime, right? So I'm here. So tonight we are talking about a topic that came from my teachings on Instagram. I've been scarce here. I think it's been about 4 weeks, but I've done Instagram, now and again. And I think somebody was talking about they've done so much rituals and they've been to this person and done this and that, but things are still not pulling together. So things are still not coming together. And I said, would you like for me to do a topic on why, even when we go through ritual, but things don't shift? And she said, yes. So that's what we're going to unpack today. So, as per usual, make comments. Don't ask me questions yet. Then we'll open for questions. And yeah, and please also do share this video with somebody whom you feel like they need to hear it because it's so important. And I think the fact that we do things and things don't give us the results that we are hoping or aspiring towards also discourages us somewhat to continue engaging with African rituals because we don't see them giving us the outcomes that we want to get. So let's firstly break down what ritual is. Ritual is basically a process, right, that helps us transition from one stage of being to another. So we do ritual because we are requiring transition, whether we are transitioning for renewal, we are transitioning for rebirth, we are transitioning for re-energizement, for ignition, we are transitioning for awakening, we are transitioning for moving from what was to what is, then we do ritual, right? And ritual comprises of different activities. So it's a collective of things, spiritual things that are done with an intention. So the intention of a ritual is very important, because you can't do ritual without being clear why you are doing it. So intention is what will inform the ritual, right? Which also bring me to then, how do I know the intention? Most of the time we do rituals because it's been a family tradition that every year, for example, we do a Thanksgiving, or every year we do a cleansing, or in the beginning of the year I go to the ocean and I cleanse, or I pasha. So that's what a ritual is, because it's what, it's something that has been passed on from generation to generation. Or we do a ritual because we have been guided to do so. And some people get guidance through their dreams, where they say, I got a message to say, this is what I must do. Or we go and consult a spiritual healer, a diviner, a sangoma, a prophet, a medium, somebody who is able to access information from the spiritual world to pass it on to us. So I needed to clarify that, right? So Maldome Some, Petrus Some, who is a well-known, renowned West African spiritual healer and teacher. He's late now, but I speak about him in the present, because I believe like people like Maldome, Babu Credo Mutwa, their bodies is what is gone, but their spirit, because their teachings live within us. So they still are very much present within us. Says a ritual is a call of the soul to the body to act in service of the body, to act in service of the soul. So it's a call from the soul. It's calling the body to act towards something, because the soul is in need of shift, of change, of elevation, of transition, of a release, of letting go. So that's what it is. So let me speak about then African rituals in the context of where you've been guided to embark on or carry out a particular ritual. So, because they are intended to do well and they're intended to do good, right? So, why then the collapse? Firstly, the collapse happens when we do rituals, because what is collapsing as well is what is getting in the way of progression. So things do collapse in ritual, because part of ritual is for the old to die, so it could make a way for the new. So when you are doing something and things collapse, right? If you are doing a ritual and a relationship ends, is because that relationship was no longer serving you. The problem becomes that we are not willing to be truthful with ourselves, because desire, which is what the flesh wants, desires what it desires. And sometimes it makes us think that the ritual is not working. But whereas that actually the desire is collapsing a stop sign, the desire is collapsing a wall, the desire is collapsing the blockage, because you can't get to the other side without breaking through that wall first. So the collapse happens because something has to die before something can grow. That's number one. Number two, when things collapse, right? With ritual, what I know, things can move from point zero to so they can move from bad to worse very quickly and very fast. That's a sign that something is wrong with that ritual. So if you are doing a cleansing, for example, and then you lose everything after that cleansing, like your relationship goes, work goes, you are in discourse with yourself, you start feeling depressed. So when everything starts to be very messed up, then that's when we get concerned, right? So let's speak about then, why would things move in that direction? Why would they move worse? Also, please note that rituals are organic processes that unlock things in an organic manner. Ritual is not intended to accelerate accumulation of things. Ritual is not intended to accelerate, but it's intended to open the path ahead. right? So if things can move from you taking doing a ritual, the next thing you're married, the next thing you have 5 Ferraris in your yard, you've got a mansion and you're traveling the world with one ritual, no way. Then that's actually a ritual of it's an inorganic ritual of acceleration of wealth, ubutwana. So here I'm talking about rituals that are meant to be organic. So things, sometimes we feel rituals are not working because we don't have the patience. We are not willing to be patient with it because it is a process. That's why it says it's a repetitive, right? We do it, it's you go cleanse, best you are full time, meaning you steam and then you purge, then there's other steps in it. So there are steps that needs to be outlined when you go through a ritual. So we sometimes are really not patient with it because we want quick results. Why do we want quick results? Because we live in the modern times where everything has been sold to us to be delivered immediately. We live in, even when you order something from an online store, they will promise 24-hour delivery. When you go through a drive-through, by the time you drive around the corner, your food is ready, right? So we are no longer, we are programmed to seek instant results. So when it comes to rituals and we're not seeing the instant results, we might have the belief that things are not working out, but it's not that they're not working out. They're not working out at the speed and acceleration in which you are desperately needing it to work out. Please remember to like and subscribe and share. So that is also what gets in the way. So why it doesn't work out? Some people don't complete the whole process. So a ritual is a process. So they don't go through the whole process. Halfway through the process, especially when it feels like there's a collapse, they give up because they can't see through, because they are expecting from ritual to do what they think it's important for them. Whereas ritual is in service of the soul. So the soul will unfold what it sees as important for all of you. So not only for the physical aspect of you or the material aspect of you, but for the spiritual and the emotional and the mental aspects of you, ritual will do that. So ritual will actually, soul will say, in order for you to see where you need to go for your initiation process, we're going to move this relationship because this partner, this relationship is toxic, and the toxicity is eating away at your connection with your ancestors because you are depressed all the time, you are walking around eggshells, you are frightened, then you are not present. So we do a ritual and then your partner decides to leave you and you think, oh my God, that's not what I wanted. But that's not what you wanted, but it's probably what your soul knows you need, because that relationship is getting in the way of what is supposed to be manifesting for you. So firstly, most people also, when they go and embark on rituals, they do things without proper guidance. So when you are doing a ritual, be clear of what is it you are doing and what for. If you are cleansing, what am I cleansing for? And what is the intended outcomes of that cleansing? Because sometimes you are cleansing and you are releasing darkness, you are releasing isinyama, but you think that you're going to get a job from that cleansing. But that cleansing is intended to just release isinyama, not open things up. Because there's different kinds of rituals. There's rituals to release, there's rituals to invite, there's rituals to receive, there's rituals to give thanks, give back. So we're not clear on the steps and the type of ritual that we're doing. And then another thing that also has us doing rituals and nothing comes through is because how we are doing those rituals, right? The how part of how we are doing it affects the effectiveness of the ritual. What do I mean by the how part of the ritual? So how is basically you are given stuff to use, or you go, let's say, to Faraday and you buy imiti to susis nyama. Then bakjel would know, just take it and steam with it and patch with it. But maybe for you, that's not going to work, because we need to remember that as much as we are all human, but we carry unique soul codes within us that makes us individuals. So even twins are similar, but they're not the same. So when you're doing things that are not actually in alignment with you, with your soul DNA, then they don't reach their, they don't get you where you need to get. So sometimes we go and buy and purchase things, and of course, you've got a headache, and then they give you umpemi. So um, my throat is a little bit dry. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. Oh my God, I come back and Lorraine remembers that. Yes, Tribe, if you're on YouTube, you can purchase a super sticker or a super chat. Super sticker is a donation that you give to say thank you for the teaching. And super chat, when you ask a question, it will put your question on top of other people's questions. So you are very much welcome to use the sticker and gift to this to the channel, gift to the teachings, so that the teachings can gift back. So some of us are doing DIYs, and those rituals, as much as they say they help for other people, they don't, because you're unique. We know when people will say, I've got like stretch marks, and you can watch how-to TikTok videos of removing stretch marks, but just don't. People can speak about how amazing theirs is, has worked, but it doesn't work. We know of DIY rituals that are shared on the socials. You tried and it doesn't work because you are addressing the symptom. That's another thing. When you are addressing the symptom, you might get temporary relief, but not complete relief, because you are not dealing with the root cause. We know that rituals sometimes don't work because people are not consulting. One, they're not going for a proper diagnosis of why are you struggling? Why are you not be able to conceive? Why are you not able to stay in a relationship? The why, which is the root cause of the problem, not the symptom, because not having a relationship might not be the root cause. It might be a symptom of something much more bigger. So the other thing that also makes rituals not work is that whom we are consulting and what they're trying to help us with is not their field of expertise. I mean, we unfortunately live in a time where everybody wants to be everything that can be under the sun, so including our community of practices healers. We are also not honest about the things that we know and the things we don't know, the things we do and the things that we don't do, because everybody is out there now to actually make themselves seen, make themselves important, make themselves impactful, make themselves popular. At the same time, we are jeopardizing people's lives. So that's the honest truth. Sometimes we undergo rituals with people who are not gifted with the gift of resolving that issue, of even performing or facilitating. Just because somebody is a sangoma, it does not automatically make them an expert in everything. I've had initiates who've ran away and have opened practices, and they're practicing, and you trust that they know what they're doing, but they really don't know, because they only got partly part of the information. I've got initiates, like I'll give you an example of Wisamatrosekai, so bringing back the spirit of the ancestors. So when we work with an initiates, if we are going to the cemetery to start there, right, then they don't go, because they are in initiation. So the initiation uzilile, so they're not supposed to go into the gravesite. So they see maybe the second part or the third part of the process, and then they find a client who needs that. They don't go back to that Kobela. They don't say, Baba, I've got this in Sebenzo. I'm not sure. They want to do it because they feel like they're the expert. So this is what I mean about us as practitioners being dishonest in the services that we offer, and our capacity, actually our ability to facilitate certain rituals. Ne? So that's the other point that makes rituals not work. The other thing that contributes to rituals not working is that there are families that have actually done a ritual to make sure no ritual work. So so meaning that they have done a dark ritual, that anyone who tries and do something, it makes things worse. That's why I don't like doing DIYs. Even when I did the Pathlon one-on-one, I did make a disclaimer that is not my, I'm saying it because a lot of my international, tribe members were needing guidance. But I say to some people, you don't even know why your people stopped partnering. Besides religion telling us ancestors are demons, but there are things that were done in the family as in the name of practicing African rituals, but those things were tampering with people's lives. Those things were actually distorting and diverting people's blessings and lives, if that makes any sense. So there could be things that have been done in the family that you shouldn't, because it made things worse, and then you are busy doing things. Hey, Tata Khatebe, good that you are here. So, and Tata Khatebe, as you all know, he's my spiritual dad. You know, when a parent comes and joins your life, you're like, oh my God. So, the other thing is that people do incorrect rituals. So they start with ritual 5, they do part ritual. So you, let's say you go into initiation, because initiation, it's a journey made out of rituals. You are starting with initiation before starting with basic rituals, things that needs to root and connect you. You go into initiation and you don't even remember your dreams. Like uyotwasa, you don't even know if you really have seen anything that has to do with utwasa, but because somebody told you that you have itlozi and you must do it, because that's why things are collapsing. So doing rituals out of desperation, right? Out of desperation, because you are desperate, you will easily be exploited by people, right? So that's the thing. Never partake in a DIY ritual. You can't come here and hear me teach about Strito and say to you, these are some of the things you use, and you think you're going to heal your own Strito. It will ease your symptoms, but it will not deal, because Strito is caused by many things. There is a video called Strito, meaning how this is a spell that's been cast upon one to discard anything that they try and possess, have relationships, money, etc., right? So you listen, and because you are not wanting to be diagnosed or really find out, you just, we have people who terminate and they're like, okay, I've done this. What do I do? Can I just go and do that? No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Remember, this is your life, and spirituality affects every aspect of your life: your mental, your emotional, your physical, your biological. So you don't want to just take chances, and a lot of us are taking chances because people also want, besides quick fixes, they don't want to pay. They just don't want to pay, because one of the miseducation around African rituals is that people just feel like they need to be the cheapest form of help than anything else. Somebody will go pay 3K to a medical practitioner for a injection, but when they have to pay 3K for a lahlamatunza mnyama ritual, they're like, no, that's too much. This sangoma is trying to make money out of me. And this is the other thing, because when we are not, for me, when things are ridiculous, either ridiculously cheap or ridiculously expensive, just be wary. And when there's ambiguity, meaning whatever that they're giving you still doesn't make sense, don't do it. Don't do something because somebody tells you must do it. You must do that because for you, it makes sense. For you, it connects. We need to normalize understanding. The same way when you go to a doctor and they're giving a diagnosis. So you must be able to know, what is this antibiotic for? Because they can't just say you've got an infection. What kind of infection? My daughter was at hospital and I was asking questions. I wanted to know every day how her sugar was doing. She went into keto diabetes, and I was like, what is that? And what does this number mean? Right? And what caused it, or what are the causes? Because that way you are empowered to do better. So you're not returning to different healers resolving the same things. Right? So the other thing rituals don't work is because we skip the steps. I think I said this. So you cleanse, and then afterwards, that's it. There has to be a post-cleansing treatment to make sure that things are sealed within the act of the ritual. So you can't just go cleanse and that's it. There has to be a post-cleansing plan, right? Such as purging and steaming, and it's very advisable for you to do it with the guidance of the healer if you've not done anything before, rather than do it on your own. I mean, we at the Institute, we don't dispense. We actually ask for the patients to come at the Institute and do their treatments there, because we also know we get lazy, or, oh my God, the medicine is too strong, and when I patch my throat, then you stop, right? So when somebody is there facilitating it with you, you'll be encouraged, things will be explained. And we do so at the Institute because the readings and information comes out, more information is revealed through the treatments that we facilitate. The other thing that makes rituals not work, we don't speak to the medicine. Medicine is a living organism. If you don't speak to the medicine, it's not going to work. It's not going to work or do the things that it needs to do. Even you don't speak to the ritual, because word is power. What you say, it activates. It activates. So meaning, when you are steaming, you are not calling, you're not pattering, you're not praying, you're just sitting there. And then what happens when you're sitting there? Oh my God, it's too hard. Oh my God, when am I done? How long? You see? So your mind starts to go on a whirlwind spiral. It starts to idle. And we know that our thoughts are creation, they're a creative force. So meaning that you are counteracting the very same thing that you are trying to build, but you're busy then all over the place. So how are you building? You are not present. So when you're going to patha and prayer and ritual, you are actually allowing yourself to be present into the ritual, because presence is what heightens the healing properties of the ritual that you are undertaking. Right? I hope it's making sense. So we're 27 minutes in. Let me take some questions and hear you out. The other thing that doesn't make ritual work, we self-sabotage. Who self-sabotage? Why would I want to sabotage me doing a ritual about getting a job? Really, I need a job. Inner child. I will never stop talking about the inner child. The inner child wounds. The inner child wounds has formulated things like vows of loyalty to poverty, like has committed vows of invisibility. I can never grow, I can never be big, because then I'm not going to belong to my community, I'm not going to belong to my family, right? Then there's also feelings of guilt, so a lot of things, like, I can't get all this money. Oh my God, if I get this money, like, there's a ritual I do for business people, and I say to them, you gotta be specific. You can't just say, I want to make a million, be a multimillionaire. Say by when. And the resistance is the inner child, because the inner child is an archive of things that has happened to us that has made us not feel like we are worthy or deserving of the things that we are actually going to consult for. So that is the sabotager as well. So the vows and the inner child will come, because your inner child will also be the one who's like, where are you going? You lazy one. You think you're gonna get up, right? Because with all that, also says that no matter how powerful the ritual is or the medicine is, your willingness must match your aspiration. And I said this in the TED Talk, because where there's no will, there's no way. So if you are coming and you are in great doubt of what you're going to do, it's not going to work, because your energy is a co-creator with the medicine and the ritual that is being performed. Right? It's not about belief, that you have to fully believe in ancestral practices and believe in things to work. Right? But there has to be trust, there has to be a surrender, because when you are in resistance and you are fighting, you are not allowing, you are not inviting. Let me stop there. I think I've said a lot. Yes, we are into 30 minutes into the thing, so please do ask Ask the questions you want to ask. Nomzam is saying enlightenment on a lot of questions I've been asking myself. Thank you so much. Nomzam Alrata is saying this is true, Nkunu. That's why group rituals do not work. No diagnosis done. Let's say no. They can offer temporary relief, but remember, when you're doing a group ritual of people, you have no idea where they come from, what they've done, because certain rituals require the facilitator ukuthi azile. They need to be carry a certain, like there's certain rituals when we do, we don't, me and Kulu can be intimate. There's certain rituals we do, the certain foods I can't eat, right? So how do you know who's done what? These are strangers you just met at a location and you are going to do rituals with them. And remember, if you're doing that ritual with everyone there, you are taking on their stuff. Energy transfers very quickly. We are energy beings, so we take on energy. So you are taking on other people's stuff. You're also taking, like, how was this prepared? It's a general thing. So you were prepared all the same things because there was no diagnosis made. So we all assume you all gonna, no. That's why even with clothing, there's a 32, 34, right? Even with the 32 and the 34, I know that the certain stores, because of my big behind, even if I'm a 34, I need to take a 36 because the design is not made for my big behind, right? And what do? I fit it so that I can know if it fits, because then I know it's not for me. So when did you get the time to distill and decipher those things? All right, so your questions and comments are welcome. Pumla is reiterating what I just said now. Your willingness must match your belief. Your willingness must match your aspiration, right? You're aspiring to go somewhere because you need to understand that you are a co-creator of your life. Everything you have to co-create. So if what you're bringing in is a resistance to creation and unfolding of things, then things are not going to happen. Okay, let's take this question. Chogoza Koko, I was also doing a ritual. Everything went well after the ritual, but now I'm struggling to remember my dreams. Some, they just don't make sense. Please help. Bongi, I don't know who you did the ritual with. If you did it with a healer, I would advise you to go back to them and say, hey, now I can't dream. I don't remember my dreams anymore. What's going on? If you went for a mass cleansing with other people, maybe you need to go for a proper diagnosis. So I don't know what you did, right? But that will be my advice. If you did it with a healer, then just go back, because sometimes it's your sense that, this is not your sense, it's real. Your dreams are not coming forward and you seeing things that don't make sense, but maybe they will make sense if that is the case. Thank you, Tehuti. That is something that I wanted to touch on, timing of the rituals, right? Things in nature happen in cycles and rhythms. So the time of the ritual is it plays a role. I don't want to say it's important. It plays a role depending on the kind of ritual that you're doing. What I know from my experience as a healer is that when you do the things you need to do, Spirit always will intervene. Like you'd plan that, okay, we're gonna arrive at this family and do this thing early because it's out of town, and you find that no, you'll arrive at the time the ancestors want you to arrive. So more than just timing is that do prepare, guys, prepare. So when you've been given guidance by a healer or someone, like, do not engage in sex, do not engage in alcohol, restrain yourself, because without discipline, you can't see results. Because why we do certain things before we go, why we pass up before we go, is so that if things are not boomerang, we can get messages very quickly and promptly not to go this direction and go the other direction. Yeah, and some rituals require you to perform them at a certain time, because of the nature of the rituals. I'm not gonna be naming rituals and that, because right, but we know ourselves and how we are lured into easiness of things and not realizing that that easiness can actually be to our own detriment. If you are shown which rituals to perform, do you still need to consult with a healer and have them there to help you perform? Maybe consult, I would recommend, not necessarily have them there if you know what you need to do, just to make sure that everything is aligned. There's no because a lot of times rituals are when a ritual is full, it's within a ceremony. So if you are shown a ceremony or something, just consult, because you might be shown one part of the ritual, but the before and the post is not shown in your dream. So consultation might give you the details and the breakdown and add to it to enrich it. But not all rituals require a healer. Some do. If it's a family traditional ritual that you guys do all the time, if there's somebody who knows how to carry that ritual, then of course. But some might require the assistance of the healer to be there. Okay, now there's a lot of questions. We love and appreciate how authentic your teachings are. Pure, not sugar-coated. May God of our ancestors bless you. Thank you so much. Evening, Coco. I also did a cleansing and now I feel stuck. Not enough is happening to move forward. I've done everything accordingly. I feel I'm in limbo. Yeah. Yeah, and because I don't know what you did and what was it for, I would also say if you've done too much, take a break and just re-introspect. What is it I done? What did I want from it? What did I get and what didn't I get? And see if the problem is with the ritual or there was a saboteur. There was an inner child in you that was sabotaging everything because what you were trying to get scares them so much, and they are vowed to be loyal to struggle in the family. So it could mean many things. Tozani Koko, what you are saying, it raises concern. 2021, we once did umsebenzi wokubuyisa ubaba nogobela kababa. That ritual empowered the other of the family and I lost my job. Wow. Sorry about that. Okay, do we need to book if someone wants to come see you? Yes, Lindila, you have to book. You have to book. I work by appointment only. And somebody can type the details. I'll share them just as we end the live. Choza Koko, how do one cleanse after miscarriage? What are the post-cleansing processes? You'll need to, I'm not going to say it here. I'm not going to say it here because, because you'll go and want to do it on your own. I said, eccentric, I was very clear. I'm a Sangoma. So a Sangoma is one that needs to look into why things are the way they are before they act. So we will need to consult, because even cleansing a miscarriage, there are steps we follow. But the mixture, because that's the thing I worry about when people do this general cleansings and masses, is the mixture needs to be specific to you, because abanye, your own people and your own spirit don't use umuti, they use iswash, right? Some you just actually need to use essential oils. Some you need to use something completely different. So if I'm coming here and saying you do this and you do this and do that, and you think you can do that, no. When I had my miscarriage, we went to consult. I was told why I had the miscarriage, what I needed to do, and what I need to do not to have a miscarriage again. You see, that was quite empowering, because I was told why it happened in the first place, because medically they couldn't find why. I lost my twins. And then we did the cleansing, and then I conceived immediately. And while I was conceiving, my dad did the ritual that he needed to do for me as well. You see, so there was multiple rituals, because you also want to understand why. Togoza Koko, when they say you are governed by water spirit, where does one begin? After doing even a ritual to acknowledge the gift and asking for a job, but nothing. God bless you, Kat. You see, Noms Masego, it's very difficult for me to give inside input on other people's diagnosis, because the language might be similar, but they might have not meant the same thing. Right? I would encourage those who really want to engage with me, because follow me on Instagram, because on Instagram you'll make a video, then I can ask questions, because from what you're giving me I can, but I do not like, and I don't actually at all like to give input, perspective on other people's diagnoses and process they facilitated, because I didn't make them. I can't say it's wrong or right, because you're giving me your side, but they have another side. And it will also come across as if I am criticizing other healers for what they're doing, you know? Location of rituals. So there's different locations of rituals, depending on the kind of ritual that you're doing. There's ones that are done in the forest, in the mountain, in the river, and all of that. And nowadays, everybody loves going to the river because, apparently the water is powerful. Yes, it's a powerful element, but is the element of water ready to receive you? Right? Because water is the element of water ready to receive you, because water has two energy forces. It's both a giver and a taker, right? You can both release in the water, but you can also receive. So that also, I mean, these are the details I spoke about, that if you are not clear of the intention, then the location will be messed up, then the time will be messed up, then the things will be messed up, right? If you're not even clear why you are doing the ritual, why is that ritual needed? Khotso, Khanya Koko. I've never consulted before. Why must one start? I'm struggling with so much lately and I've suicidal thought. There you go. That's your reason, Kilebukile, start, because you're struggling, right? You're struggling. So you need clarity. That's why we go see a doctor, because we're sick. So you are not okay. And if you are suicidal, I will also say, please contact the South African SEDEX, South African Anxiety and Depression. Yeah, let me look. Yeah, I'm gonna write the SEDEC number for you here. Yeah, South African Depression and Anxiety Group. Here's the number. Maybe even before you go for a consultation, you want to speak to someone. Yeah, that's the helpline. Yes, it's on the bottom of the comments. Yes, I've put it there. Yeah. Let me actually put Simnigiwes one, because you can Google them and find them. Thanks, Simnigiw. Um, okay, I think you got it. Let me go to the next question. Chogoza Koko, how will you know if you have skipped some steps of the ritual you need to perform? Okay. Well, the thing is that if a ritual has been prescribed by somebody else, they are responsible to tell you these are the steps that are required. And if some healers say take this and go and do it on your own, it might be good go back to tell them things are pulling or they're not working. So always go back to the person who prescribed and diagnosed you, so that they can be able to give you input, because it's through that we can know. It's through checking again to see, so if you say my cough is not clearing, the doctor will take a look at it to see what else has formed, or will ask you, did you finish your whole antibiotics? How did you store them? So similar with spiritual practitioners, they will have to ask those questions. That what did you do? What? So, and of course, babule futhi, so they can see what else is there or what interfered. Um, so I haven't spoken about the success of successful rituals. I think you'll know when a ritual has been successful. You'll see things shifting. You'll see things moving towards a positive. I mean, something as what we would see as basic, but it's important, where you can start to feel like I'm at peace here. I feel peaceful and I feel lighter. It could be that, or then things are starting to open up for you as well. Things are starting to open up for some of your family members. So that's how when we're haunted by something, that thing doesn't haunt you anymore. But I wasn't talking about, I was still focusing, I haven't touched on it yet. Problem could also be that the surname use is incorrect. Our mindset is everywhere. When we do mesebetsi ya badimo, we should focus and also try meditating. Yeah. Well, surname not I maybe, but it's not really. So that's why I'm saying that when you are also speaking, I think more than surname, when you are calling upon your ancestors, make sure who you are inviting, right? Because before the surname, because you could be calling the right surname, but you're calling everyone. So when you can say, I am calling on my ancestors, baga, right? Bagas banban. But those things do. I mean, Papito, I won't say they don't affect people, they do. There's a lot, you see. How does one know that they have a calling, and can three people, Gokomara, you're taking us off topic, Buleng. We're talking about rituals here, and you can go on YouTube and look at a video that says signs that can tell that you've got a gift. We're talking about ritual. Togozako, I'm planning on doing a ritual to thank my ancestors that I finished high school and now I'm at higher institution. Is it a good thing? Yeah, Lerato, if at home, that's a great thing. If at home that they do these things, then ask how to do it, right? Just ask like how to do it. If they've never done it, consult first before you do it, because you might be doing it and um, it might turn things a little bit upside down. My feet are so cold. Baba, God bless you in everything you do. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Really appreciate it. Choza Koko, are there any protection rituals for newborns? Definitely. It's called ukipinyoni khutisa phokwana ya ngwana. Normally it happens 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks after their birth. But there are also family rituals. Like I know in the Ndlanzi family, it starts when when their umbilical cord falls off. Then it's at 2 weeks, right, where they do something for them. Then is that thing your kipinyoni, that you'll take to a sangoma that specializes with children. I don't do that. That's not my specialty. I don't work with children. So yes, they are. Because remember, their phonatal is still very soft. And because our phonatal is right on our crown where we take in stuff. So batiba hoke imi cock. Tande, I wish I could be guided by you. So many fraud outside. There's a lot, eh? There's a lot. You just have to be very wary and very careful. Thokoza Koko, thank you for your lessons. Umbenqangi nedlozi. Ukumbethe. Bawandisele Thokoza Kehla. Kubonga mina Majola. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Ngiyabonga. Okay, no more questions. So I was like, okay, sending love from Botswana. That's great. Do check out. I'll post here on Instagram and I'm gonna post on Facebook. Some exciting news loading tomorrow morning at 9. Please share. Please watch. So excited. I am so excited. Finally. God is really good, guys. I am so excited. Um, I'm so excited. Okay, maybe let me just get you excited. Yes, it's my own show. You see, I'm doing the closet. It's my own show, guys. It's my own show, but we'll share the. I wanted to share at 6, but I was consulting because I do online consultations from here in the early evenings because of yeah, especially with the international, because of our time difference. Well, I don't know, Refilo, you'll see. You'll see what show it is. Just make sure you are glued on your socials and put the notification and hope you watch and you spread the love, and we hashtag the show, and we hashtag Coco Janelle. And of course, I do work that is meaningful. Yes. Have you watched the Rosemary episode? So the other show that, so yeah, so I'm also on the Rosemary hit list for the whole documentary. I'm giving my input from a spiritual and psychological perspective. So yeah, so there's this one airing on Monday. This one is airing on Monday, and there's another one I'm working on. You know, when close the timing, guys, you just gotta be patient. When you seek for impact, things will find you. When what is yours will find you. That's all I'm gonna say, because a lot of people like, why Gogo don't you have your own show? Why don't you? I'm like, but nobody's wanting to do what I want to do, right? Like, I don't want to do ho things and crazy stuff. I want to do real things, and this is real, you know. And the Rosemary documentary is out on Showmax. Please do watch. Um, yeah, I saw a little bit on it. People were complaining why Showmax is releasing one episode per week. They just wanted the whole thing. Yeah, so I needed to give you that hint. And I'll share it tomorrow. It's gonna be. It was beautiful. I couldn't believe it. Okay, tribe, that's it from me. Thank you so much. We are back on YouTube. Yes, I will see you Tuesday on Instagram Live.